Hello everybody, my name is Eli Miner, and today we'll be making chicken parmesan. Okay, so to start us off, we're going to make the marinade, which consists of 2 eggs, 4 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley, and 2 tablespoons of garlic with salt and pepper mixed in there. And we're going to eyeball the amount on that. So without further ado, let's get to chopping. Okay, now that we've gathered our parsley, what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the leaves off of it and then clump it up into one big pile and then chop it that way. Now that we've gathered up our parsley, we're going to start up here at the top where the leaves are. And we're just going to give it one nice little cut like that. And then after that, it's pretty straightforward because all we have to do is we have to clump these and we have to mince these. Okay, now that we have successfully chopped up 4 tablespoons of parsley, what we're going to do is we're going to move this into a bowl, which we will then use to combine our other ingredients. So it's also beneficial to chop a little bit more than what you're going to need for this part of the recipe because you will need it for garnishing. Okay, now that we have successfully transferred our parsley into the bowl, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our minced garlic and we are going to take this tablespoon. We're going to measure out 2 tablespoons of garlic and add it into the bowl. Now that we've done that, it's time for eggs. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just crack these and just drop them right in there. Nice clean break on that first one. Let's see if I can repeat that for the second. Nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our salt and our pepper and we're just going to crank a few good shakes of both into there. And sometimes this can be hard because there isn't a correct amount necessarily for any of them. You just sort of have to eyeball it. Now this next step is pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're just going to just mix this all together until it forms a nice little wash. You get everything all combined. All right, and our next step for this part of the our last step for this part of the process is adding 2 chicken breast fillets, and we're just going to put these in nice and easy. Go ahead and move these around, and the longer that those sit in there, the better it's going to taste. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this in saran wrap and leave it in the fridge overnight. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, now that our chicken has finished marinating, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to set this aside and we're going to get another bowl. And inside of this bowl, we are going to combine the following ingredients. 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of Italian breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. So we're going to start off with our panko. Next in is our 1/4 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. Then we're going to throw in our Parmesan, 1/4 cup. Then a teaspoon of onion powder. Then the garlic powder. And then finally for this step, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a fork and you're just going to want to mix all this together really good so that it all becomes one big mixture that you can then take your chicken and dip in and then fry it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take ourselves a pan and we're going to use some olive oil and a paper towel to just grease the pan really good so that the chicken doesn't stick to it when we go to take it out of the oven. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our eye on medium and we're going to take some olive oil and we're just going to pour it into the pan so that we have enough oil to fry the chicken on. and we're just gonna let that heat up for a second. And once it's done heating, we're going to move our chicken into it. This is a really important step when it comes to the actual process of chicken parmesan. What we're going to do is we're going to bread the chicken in from this mixture, and we're going to put it in this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out a piece of chicken, right? I'm going to clear the parsley off of it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just place it in there like so, and then we're going to flip it so that it gets covered on both sides. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move that to our pan. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to just fry these on both sides until it is a nice golden brown color. And then it'll take about 5 minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip each one. And you see that nice golden crust that we formed over it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get a pan. We're going to move these over into it, and we're going to preheat our oven. Okay, next we're back over here. What we're going to do is we're going to take some of the parsley and some of this basil, and we're going to essentially use it as garnish, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. This is the part of the recipe where it shapes up and it starts to look like what you're trying to make. And so first what we're going to do is we're going to take some marinara sauce, and we're just going to spoon just a little bit of that on there onto each piece, just like so. Spread it around. Get another little bit. And some people make their own. I am not that kind of person, so I'm not actually going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to spoon this out and spread it around. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take some mozzarella cheese, and we're just going to sprinkle this on top like so. Can't have too many or it'll take too long to cook. So just like so. And then we're going to take the aforementioned garnish, and we're just going to go over it. Just a little bit of parsley, and then a couple leaves of basil just for pizzazz. Doesn't really add that much to the flavor, but I personally like to do it. And we are going to throw this in the oven on 450 for 15 minutes, and then we'll have chicken parmesan. While that's in the oven, I'm going to boil some spaghetti to eat with it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of the oven. And after we've taken it out of the oven, what we're going to do is we're going to cut into it just to make sure that it's all the way done in the middle. And that should mean that there is absolutely no pink. And as you can see, it is done. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to plate it. Now the last step of this is to eat it, obviously. So we're just going to put it on the plate, and we're also going to throw some spaghetti on there. I'm Eli Miner, and this is my chicken parmesan recipe. Thank you for watching.